Hey yo, what's up? You know what it is. I'm of course the one on the triple to G.O.D. Pop that thing. Surrounded by the squadron as usual. And you, yes you're live right here with us, right here on Team GRF TV. And yo, AEW presents Full Gear. And I'm like, yo man, we got us a heater. A heater for this pay-per-view leading into what is going to be and a pun intended explosive dynamite tonight. But yo, it's not in the most perfect time, and on top of that, my voice is back, so I can actually communicate with you, the people, about this thing that I watch. So it's all good. But I just want to say this before we get into the mix, though. You gotta love when good booking come together. Let me make this adjustment here. I want to get all of Sheila's here and there. For real, I love when good booking comes together, right? And this pay-per-view was a whole bunch of good booking coming together, especially when you talk about the blow off of everything that had to do with the tag team tournament, and we'll get into that in a minute. Everything that was Le Champion versus Cody Rhodes, and of course that lights out match between the cleaner and that boy John Moxley. That one thing I've been waiting for months, delivered in a way that not even I could have saw coming. But we do have a whole pay-per-view to talk about, so let's get into it. Britt Baker's a dentist, and she wrestled somebody, and then Brandy Rose dressed up like some madam, came out with Awesome Kong dressed in all gold everything like Trinidad James, and they cut that bitch hair, and I'm just like, okay, I don't know where you going with this. I'm like, I don't really honestly think you are immediately finna put Riho in a course to sit up her and get an Awesome Kong's face anytime soon. We'll talk about her match with Emi Sakurada in a minute. The thing that we will talk about, that it was a wrestling match. Spoilers, but I don't know what this is. I like the last couple of weeks on Dynamite, I have been really interested, like Brandy doing all this stuff, and I'm just like, I'm interested for real, like where this is going. Like, this is just more story that they build and more stuff for me to get intrigued and interested by. And they're like, and if y'all answer this, then y'all sitting up here snatching wigs and taking scalps, yo, ladies, I'm with it. Just sit up here and just make it hot for the streets. That's all I gotta say. Let's see. After that, my boys Pride and Powerful, my homies Santana and Ortiz defeated the Young Bucks. I'm like, it had to happen, because see, this is more of your blow off of your tag team tournament or whatever, because this was the thing coming. Number one, had Santana Ortiz left TNA 2 to 3 weeks early, we probably wouldn't have got this match. Probably the smartest booking, and I'm going to be rap about that whole tag team tournament, was giving that rub to Private Party. Was the best thing that you could have done. We'll talk more about Private Party a little bit later, because they are involved in the three-way for the title. We'll discuss that. But a part of that wonderful booking of understanding, you want a money match like them boys Santana and Ortiz against one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling ever, them boys, the Young Bucks. What I appreciate about this pay-per-view, and we'll get more into this especially as we get down the card, is I appreciate you kept your BS to after it was over. Yeah, you let Santana Ortiz get the win on the Young Bucks, because it really don't affect them at the end of the day. Then you get the Rock and Roll Express to do Canadian Destroyers and stuff, and don't let that affect the flow of your match. You don't let it affect the way you book the ending and things like that. And I really appreciate that a lot of this was non-screwball finishes in a way that make it look, I don't know. But I appreciate that. And I'm going to be rap. I appreciate the way that they were able to get the Rock and Roll Express for them to get their revenge without it affecting the quality of the match, which was excellent. But I'm like, when you got the Young Bucks and Santana Ortiz in the same damn ring, what the hell do you expect? Just the rap. The rubber match. It seems that Hangman Adam Page has got the best of the bastard Pac. I'm like, yo, that was a hard hitter, but it's like, what do you expect when you get a fool like Pac in there and you get a Hangman Adam Page? I'm like, every time they done got in the ring, the last 2 times before this, it done been a hard hitting slugfest. Like, wrestling match? What's a wrestling match? I'm like, cowboy shit, rap, and you got the bastard in the building. I'm like, I don't know what more you want me to say. I'm like, the match delivered in a way that now maybe you can get Hangman over here, and you get Pac to do something else. I'm not sitting up here saying I don't enjoy them wrestling, but I'm glad that booking let them get a rubber match to let them settle that so they can go do their own thing. I'm like, they'll find something for both of these men to do. But I'm like, for this to be the way that they do it, yo, they delivered a hot match. And again, it's just more of those, what more can you ask for? Because you've seen this match twice, and each time it delivered that heat. And for the third time to deliver that heat equally with no slowing down, I'm like, you can't ask for much better wrestling than that. And that's just rap. My boy, the chairman, Shawn Spears, took out Joey Janela. Now, here's the thing. Here's my honest question. And I'm going to ask this because I'm like, the match was the match. But I got more questions about my boy, Perfection, right now. I'm really trying to figure out, like, what Tully Blanchard is really doing for him. I'm like, I understand that the alleged, like, Tully Blanchard, though. Like, he's sitting up here, he your guy, whatever. But other than that Cody match that they had, you know what I'm saying? I really don't really see like how this is really doing anything for Shawn Spears, the character, because I'm like, anybody can go sit out a chair and then get a wrestling flow, which I still think is probably one of the best things in AEW right now. If we not counting Chris Jericho's joint, and if we not other things about this, we'll talk about that. But I'm waiting to see this payoff of Tully Blanchard and Shawn Spears' corner. I'm wondering what it is they're trying to build upon, because we're going to talk about this later when we talk about Le Champion, because I have a legitimate question about that hoping maybe that if I sit up here and talk my shit and discuss it with y'all, maybe we can suss something out. Match was cool because, again, we got Shawn Spears and Joey Janela in the same damn ring. You can't ask for much more than that for two guys delivering, but my thing is just on the more that minutia side. When is this Tully Blanchard being with Shawn Spears is gonna pay off into something major for this character? And honestly, I'll give you a little spoiler alert about the Le Champion segment we got later. AEW is sometimes gonna need a mid-card title at some point. You gonna need something for everybody else to do, because at some point, well, actually, you know what? I take that back. At no point ever will two people want to whoop each other's asses and building up an ass whooping worth it. But when it's something on a line other than pride and an ass whooping, it would help just a tad. Just putting that out there. Okay, more of the blow off of the tag team tournament. SCU is still your AEW tag team champions. But I'm like, yo, Private Party and the Lucha Brothers put in the work. Because I'm like, again, one of the things I come to AEW for is to watch Lucha Bros matches. Like yo, Red Phoenix, Seattle, like, what you want. And I'm like, it is what it is. Because for real, like, let's talk about the tag team tournament right now, because this is how we're going to run this. This is the best thing that ever happened to Scorpio Sky. And I'm not saying that because he's a man with a tenure. He didn't put in some work. But if what their job was when they decided this is how they were going to book this, the best thing you could have done is put Scorpio Sky out there. Now, given the teams who were in that tournament, is that, first of all, let's say it again. The best thing that happened to this tournament was the upset of Private Party over the Young Bucks. Because, see, that's more into that Le Champion versus Cody stuff about how you kind of don't want people who high rank in their management or whatever wearing your damn titles. At some point, it's gonna happen, because again, we will not talk about Burial Man H and how many times he didn't held the world title for no reason for Roman Reigns to take it, because this is the wrong federation to be talking about that. But think about that, let that sit in your noodle though. But for real, even given like what that tag team title tournament was, is that, it was a lot of great booking decisions. Because again, let me remind you again, because Private Party upset the Young Bucks, you got the Santana and Ortiz match to sit up here to really put them on the map in AEW. It wasn't like people who watch AEW, like the majority of fans are familiar with TNA and are familiar with Santana and Ortiz. So I'm not sitting up here even giving you that. We're not even finna sit up here and we're not finna get into they link with Le Champion in the Inner Circle, which has been doing that work. Shout out to the Spanish God, was really good, Sammy Guevara, my boy. Even given all of this, is that you really gotta wonder now, where did the tag team thing go for it? Because Christopher J.U. came back and ended the match, and another one of those mystical and magical examples of thank you, of letting the match play out first, then getting your BS. That's great, because see, I really don't honestly think that in a booking sense, especially the way that you booking that boy Frankie Kazarian and that boy Scorpio Sky as the tag team champions. You really don't want the Fallen Angel running there in the middle of the damn match to sit up her and then put the screwball work in, because that's gonna sit up her and upset all your booking. So it was a great idea to let him get his revenge after that. So I really appreciate that. Match was hot. And do I keep saying that? Oh, because wait, this federation actually puts on hot matches that I enjoy, and I don't need to describe them. You in the end, match was off the chain. The end. It's gonna be interesting to see the fallout from her, because one of the things that we do know, the Spanish God and Le Champion will be taking on SCU on Dynamite tonight. So it'll be interesting to really see all the fallout from all of that. To really see, like, will Le Champion will be Le Double Champion. We will see, and that's a spoiler for later, because yeah, but we gonna talk about that for real. Okay, so in other news, Riho beat Emi Sakura. So here's my question: given all of this, given that again, another hot match, what we doing with my girl Riho right now? Because see, the thing is that I'm gonna say this because a lot of people, when Riho won the title, people didn't understand her tenure. Like, didn't understand that Riho, for a 22-year-old woman, is a wrestling veteran. And it's like, and that was kind of weird, especially people coming in like, why did this little minute girl beat this big giant woman? Because she's been wrestling for 13 years and Nyla Rose hasn't as much. And you needed somebody with that type of tenure to hold your title until you can do something. More on that when we talk about Le Champion in a minute. I'm trying to wonder again, like I said, is it time for Riho to run into the unstoppable force that is the beautiful, awesome Kong? I don't know. It's like, because you've got to wonder, it's like, do you really want to sit up here and just like put like a legitimate stop to this reign? But it's like, let's be for real, Riho done beat a lot of people. But when she gonna start beating some folks? Because again, it's like they had the opportunity to put the title on multiple people, not Riho, but they did that in a reason to make sure that the championship has some prestige, and I appreciate that when I really think about it, because I know I'm like when Riho won the title and everybody was talking about like, who is this, and like I knew exactly who she was, but I understood it from your point of view of, I don't know this small chick. I had no idea she'd been wrestling for 13 years and was some point involved in still folks with the boy the cleaner. You know what I'm saying? That don't have nothing to do with it, but you wanted somebody experienced to hold your title, to uplift your title, somebody that wrestling fans, like really, really, really deep wrestling fans, are familiar with. So, question we return to is, what's next for my girl? It's like, it'll be interesting to really see if Dynamite even deals with this in the immediate interim of who's next for Riho. So it is what it is with that. Okay. Let's talk about Le Champion versus Cody. Number one, don't invite your family to ringside. That's a sure tell that your ass is gonna lose if you part of the elite. Hangman at a page had a whole family reunion at the damn pay-per-view, got his ass whooped by Le Champion. I can't really call this that, but the thing is, I really don't think that Cody is going to hold to his promise of never challenging for the title again. But if they really gonna stick with that, it's good you get that out the way right now, instead of years from now of Cody never challenges for the title, why, and then he challenges for the title and get bopped anyway. Here's the truth. Chris Jericho is going to be the AEW champion for a very, very, very long time. Chris Jericho is the money. Rap. I don't care what you think or what you say. Chris Jericho is money. It's like, and I'll say it live. I'm like, because this is not even a praise thing. This is just what the numbers say. The truth is, I really don't think a lot of last wrestling fans, like, and I mean really last wrestling fans, would be even giving AEW attention if Chris Jericho wasn't the face of the franchise. That's what I honestly believe. And I'm like, Chris Jericho, when Chris Jericho was walking out there at first saying that, I was kind of like, now Chris, you'd done some work, real talk, but I don't know. But then the numbers speak for themselves. The buy rate speaks for themselves. People tuning in to Dynamite every week speaks for themselves. A little bit of the bubbly. That means they're gone dumb. That says all you needed to say. But let's talk about this match, okay? Let's talk about this match. let's talk about the layers. Let's talk about, if you want to talk about the emotional ooey gooey center layer of Cody wanting to topple Chris Jericho because, my granddaddy this, my daddy that, my brother this, Vince McMahon this, whatever, blah. Okay, that's fine. You do that. It's great. That promo on Dynamite, that was from the heart. And I can't even deny Cody. That was from the heart, and I really think that's what he needed to project himself out there, not only as Cody the character, but Cody Rhodes the man. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell that a lot more of that was actually legitimately personal, especially when it comes to his troubles and tribulations in the profession in which he works. And a lot of that came out in that promo rap. I can't even deny that. But again, you weren't going to get booked to greet Chris Jericho, even if you is a high-ranking official in this company, because it's not money for you to be champion. It's not money for Cody to be champion. But if you think he's not going to challenge for the title again, he'll get forced into it. The storyline will make it so. He may not win the title again, but I don't see that happening anytime soon because of the way things are booked and what it is that they're setting up to do now. That package Chris Jericho did on Dynamite, that was the dirtiest stuff I've seen in a long time. This old white lady like, fuck Cody, and I was like, what? Are you serious right now? Like, this is how we doing it. Like, yo, we extra savage, dog. Why do you think we call this show the Savage Era? Because still savage, homie. Still savage. And I'm like, I was sitting up here watching, I was dying so hard. Like, sitting up here like, why you flaming him, Chris? Why you do this, dog? I was just like, no, please stop. Hold up, I need a drink of water. I'm like, yo, I'm getting so high. I'm like, no, please stop. Like, nah, man. That's good. Sit that over there. So, even give it all ooey gooey sentence and hot promos. Let's talk about the swervage. The whole time they was building up, it's gonna be judges if this goes 60 minutes. If this goes 60 minutes. So your assumption is that this is, like you walk into the match thinking it's gonna be booked. This gonna go the full 60 minutes, and then this gonna either go one way or the other, and you either got Cody as the new champion or Le Champion still retains, but it's gonna be some BS because it's judges. But then they tell you who the judges are. The Enforcer Arn Anderson, the man of 1,001 hoes, Dean Malenko, and the legendary Great Muta. So, I see this and I'm kind of like, well, let's see here. I see you and I'm kind of like, well, okay, fine. If this is how you want to, in an emergency swervage that you want to handle the business, we can do that. We got cornermen for this match. Like this is a boxing match or something. Of course, you got the big man Jake Hager in the corner of Le Champion. And of course, you got MJF. And I'm going to say this, spoilers. I'm so happy for you. I am. I'm so happy for you in many, many ways, MJF. Because now that things have happened the way they are, spoilers, you finally going to actually have something to do. And I am happy for you that you can show the streets what it is you can do real rap. Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes murdered each other in that ring. And to think that after this murder, there would be a non-sanctioned murder. So you got bodies dropping back to back. And I'm just like, okay, I'm with you. It was something about this match and the Lights Out match where there were multiple times I was like leaning back in my seat because I was sitting down here watching it. I'm leaning back in my seat like, oh shit, really? Like, it's been a very long time since wrestling has really like invoked that real response of the fall. Like, and I've had some moments where I've watched some WWE stuff and some New Japan stuff, ROH stuff and things like that where you're like, oh, okay. But I'm looking at this like, y'all got me here. Y'all got me here in this match. And I'm like, y'all sitting up here for the biggest prize in the business. You let JR tell it. They in there murdering each other. Like, it was just layers upon layers upon layers in that match. And because I'm trying to keep this short and sweet, is that I don't want to get into the last. If you watch that match because you probably watching this review, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're just watching this because you're just trying to hear what I gotta say, there are layers. There are layers that involve Cody Rhodes' mom, bruh. Though that's some layers right there. Layers. Here is your layer, though. There were times in this match that I thought Cody had it and it was over. The wrap up of the match, that first line timer, that shit was psycho. Like, I ain't never seen a man body contort that way before in my life. Like, I didn't know your spine could move like that. And then Chris Jericho put him in the second one where MJF threw in the title. I'm sitting up here like, this dude back must be an accordion. This dude back been like this, and I'm like, no, please, just no. I'm like, but that's where your finish came in. MJF threw in the towel. Cody was out. Like, I think Cody was like literally out. And they literally, like, I don't know if that, cause like my thing is that you can understand it. Like, I don't know if that's how the match was booked to finish. But if you watch it back, you see Cody is done though. Like, he's sitting up like, put me in this line time because I can't get up. Man, I'm just like, well, yeah. But yeah, MJF heel turn. Le Champion still Le Champion. I told you, he ain't dropping that title anytime soon. And if he drop that title to somebody, they gonna have to build somebody credible to take it from Jericho. And I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to build up somebody credible to take the title from them. Like, they have a lot of qualified candidates that they could build, but that build can't just be shots in the dark. Whoever it is that they pull to take the title off Jericho, it's gotta be worth it. And you've gotta sit up here and wonder who it is that they tapping for that. And given that it is a whole bunch of talented wrestlers in AEW, you got your selection thereof of who it is that you want. That ultimately, when you build that up, but Inner Circle been running roughshod, and I'm like, and I love what it is that they doing. I just hope that I hope it don't become NWO, like, you know what I'm saying, like where it's like 50 Inner Circles or something. I really think we've all learned our lessons from WCW and the growth and explosion and the multiple versions of the NWO. But if they keep the Inner Circle tight and don't let everybody in their mama in or whatever, it's gonna be dope. Now I'm like, given what it is that they can do, is that I am surprised that it's going to be Chris Jericho and the Spanish God versus SCU for the titles, and not it being Santana and Ortiz, because it's Santana and Ortiz, but I can understand Le Double Champion, so it is what it is with that. And, you know, we'll see how it pop off later tonight on Dynamite. So, now that I've done that, I literally watched the match for almost an hour where one man choked another man with a big ass dookie chain, and I'm just like, I quit. Yeah. One man choked another man with a dookie chain. I'm done. That Lights Out match was fucking crazy. Like, I don't even know what you want me to say. Well, you know what? I do know what I want you. I know what I want to say. That boy John Moxley, he looked like a kid in a candy store. Like, it's like that moment, like, and I know you probably felt that where you feel like you getting back to your roots. This match was John Moxley getting back to what John Moxley do. And it's a wonderful thing to see. Like, I'm gonna say this, and I'm like, and I know that this is probably gonna be a weird thing to say because of how I watch wrestling. You could see that John Moxley, the man, not the character, had a smile on his face that was, I'm free of that WWE BS. I can be me, do what I want to do, and I could murder a man legally in his ring and no one cares. Jimmy, crack that corn. I'm happy that John Moxley happy. Real talk. I'm happy he happy. that he's able to go to AEW and do what he wants. That he's not watered down by a PG system, not watered down by the story that they want to tell. That the opening and understanding, and this is more about Le Champion right now, and I make it about so because I watched his after interview, okay, after Full Gear, of understanding and knowing like how important his move to AEW has been, how important where AEW been. Like AEW is the oasis for anybody trying to be creative. That if you got the talent and you know what's up, you can come over here and come make some money, do some work, and be happy what you do. And when you see a man who you know because you've watched this, because Jesus, and seeing that stuff, you can see that there was like a legitimate joy in the performance that he put on with Kenny Omega. And I really think that even given the match was a murder scene, all of that, the biggest takeaway is that you have a wrestling performer who wants to perform, who loves what he does, finding joy in what he does again. Because if you go take a look at his WWE stuff, like early in the Shield, he was kind of having fun or whatever. But then, you know, at some point you can see on his face, like, I am bored with this bullshit. It is what it is, was what it was. Really quickly, while we are talking about this, shout out to the boy Kenny Omega. We talking about a man who blew up the internet with a Sonic cosplay, bro. Came out to Megalovania, marked out, saw this and be like, oh, what? Because I sat up here, like, when they was sitting up here introducing him for the match, I was sitting up there watching it, and it's like, they play his normal music, and then I'm recognizing something, and I'm like, are they really doing this right now? And I'm just like, shout out to Toby Fox, man. I'm like, I'm glad him and Kenny Omega are friends. I'm glad him and Kenny Omega are friends. And I'm wondering when Kota Ibushi. Actually, to be real, I don't even know what Kota Ibushi is even doing. Actually, you know what? I got the stuff right here. Let's find out what Kota Ibushi is doing right now, because I don't know. Cause let me see. Cause the last time I looked into what Kota Ibushi was doing, he's still over there in New Japan or whatever. So, because I only keep up with it, because I probably would have learned about this in a couple of weeks, is my boy that won the G1 Climax. Oh my God. This is going to be an interesting Wrestle Kingdom. My boy, Kota Ibushi, won the G1 Climax. That's what I'm talking about. And maybe once he get done, maybe the Golden Lovers will get back together. And we'll all be a happy family. Let me just make sure that I'm taking care of all my bases. Man gets choked with Dookie Chain. Glass V-Triggers. The Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page come out like, bro, stop this. Then they come back with, happy birthday to you. It's the board covered in barbed wire. And it's like, what? Squeeze me? I'm like, that match was crazy as hell. Again, like I said, you could see the smile on John Moxley's face. Like, he was happy with what he was doing. Like, he was like a kid in a candy store, pig and slop, name it, whatever. It felt good for him to be performing in that way, and I think that's dope. I think that's dope that when you see it and you can feel that energy, that's what it's all about. Hokey pokey. No, not hokey pokey. No. Well, yeah, maybe. No. Great pay-per-view overall. Most of it was what it is, was blow-offs and ending and trying to figure out how Dynamite is going to start building these new feuds and things like that. And I really think that, like I said, for the time that Dynamite has been on, and also shout out to AEW Dark for bringing us more heat, They doing a lot of building, and it's gonna be really interesting to really see what it is we're gonna do, especially with Dynamite tonight. So, gonna be waiting for that on bated breath, and waiting is. But regardless of that, we have got plenty, and I mean plenty of more show for YOU. So please, man, sit back, relax, and stay tuned. Just in case you forgot, get in there, pop it. Of course, I am the one and only triple the G.O.D, aka Mr. CRACKCOCINE, hashtag entertainment's #1 dope man. And of course, I am the baddest monster in existence. And don't you ever forget it. Holding down my 6 all day, every day. Squish, Murder, and the squadron. The congregation may they be praised. Betsy, Magdalene, and of course my girl Miss Marcy, who bring you these heats on the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s, and the 4s. We stay winning, crip 'em up, never losing round here. You know what we do. Look, you made it to the end of this. If you ain't subscribed, hit that button. There's a subscribe button, there's a bell. Yeah, you hit that bell. Let you know when we putting this work. If you like what I had to say, hit that like button. If you dislike it, hit that dislike button. If you got something to say, hit me in the comments. Let me know how you feel. Catch me on social media. And of course, if you want to support the show with your cash money, you should definitely do that, by the way. You can either get at me on PayPal or my PayPal.me account, or you can join my pages, my main man, Ryan Bomber, and my boy, Young Moneybags, in case my boy Drew was really good, family. And hold it down for me, you know what I'm saying, to keep this show rolling and keep it moving. Like I said, we have got plenty of more show. Bang! For you. And I mean, we got plenty of more show for you. And we've got, right after these, commercial messages. something CM Punk's back in the WWE, but you know we shouldn't discuss that here because that's stuff. We'll discuss that when it's time for a pay-per-view, but damn, Sebastian looking dope as well. More show for all of y'all right after these commercials.